before a man and a woman get married, they go through a dating period. The dating period leads up to an engagement period. Then after a man and a woman get married, they have kids, get in the middle of married life, and then the dating period fades, and sometimes it even ends. This should not be the case.
Today's episode, we will talk about how going on regular dates help a married couple stay connected. We'll talk about some of our favorite dates and our unique dates. And we had some weekend getaways and how we stay focused and on going on dates. And we'll talk about how we went through a period to where we kind of didn't go on dates and then we reconnected and we realized the importance of going on dates. That's what we're going to talk about. So stay tuned. All right, I'm Joey.
I'm Lori.
And we are Christ-Centered Marriage and Family. And I'm going to read something from Proverbs to kind of get this going. I always try to do a Bible verse or Bible reading before, because we're Christ-centered, we're biblical-based marriage, which is kind of funny to me. Marriage is God-centered. I hate saying Bible-based or Christian-based because marriage is of God.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. So I try to interject some Bible verses. And so I got something here. Proverbs chapter 5, verse 15, drink from your own cistern, drink water from your own cistern, and fresh water from your own well. Should your springs be dispersed abroad, streams of water in the streets? And that's a question. Let them be yours alone, and not for strangers with you. Let your fountain be blessed, and rejoice in the wife of your youth. So husbands, this episode is primarily going to be to teach you how to love her better. And I just kind of thought about that as I was preparing this. Um, this episode is our second part of the series, Good Things in Marriage, Part 2. We're going to talk about good dates. Why is it important to date your spouse? It's important for a husband, but it's more important for your wife too. It's a way for you both to reconnect. And I think here in Proverbs, one thing that jumps out to me is you need to enjoy your spouse. Here it says to rejoice in the wife of your youth. And you can't do that if you're not connected. You can't do that if you're not involved. And so we're going to talk about some ways that you can be involved, that you can rejoice in each other, and I can rejoice in my wife. And I don't have to worry about her being discontent, and then she's satisfied, and we're connected, and life's going to be a whole lot better. Okay, so Lori, get us started. Let me start you with a question. Why is it important for married couples to have date nights?
Well, you want to stay reconnected. You want to stop the drift.
Stop the drift. The marriage conference. Yeah.
That's what they said at our marriage conference that we went to.
Don't drift apart.
So we're fixing to go back to in a
Yes.
month. But stop the drift. We don't want to drift apart. So having date nights is a way to just stay reconnected. So for many married couples, date nights are rare, especially those with small kids. So we made a short list of some things that prevent married couples from having dates. So one of those things is young children. So if you have young children, obviously there's a lot of issues in just trying to be able to go out on dates. So you might not have the money for it because you've spent all your money on your kids. You might not be able to find a babysitter. You might be able to afford a babysitter. And sometimes, especially stay-at-home moms, sometimes they just don't trust anybody else with their kids, and they just not gonna go out. They're not leaving anybody else with their kids. Not that I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
I understand that,
but that's just the reality. Sometimes that happens.
Yeah, but you got to get to the point where you say, okay, husband, wife, we need to get away.
Yeah.
We need to find a babysitter, grandma, aunt, and uncle, or big brother, somebody. We need to have somebody to give us a couple-hour break.
And if you have, somebody like that in your family, I know a friend of mine, I won't say who it is because I don't know if she'd want me to say her name, but she had her mom, like every Friday night, her and her husband would go on a date night, and she would have her mom watch the kids.
Oh, yeah,
From
great idea. Awesome
very
idea.
young, when their first kid was born, she was watching them every Friday night, and they would go on a date night. So that was something that they did. So that, if you can do that and you had a way to do that, then, I highly recommend trying to do, even if it's just for a couple hours. You don't have to like leave them overnight, whatever. If
Yeah.
that's not, you're comfortable with that. But Just anything where you can just get away for a little bit and just have some time to yourself and reconnect.
Yeah, so I got another point here. I just jotted it down. Sometimes husbands and wives are worn down from the weekly grind. I remember when I was growing up, I don't know what it was like for you, but in the 80s, my dad, he worked full time in coal mines and truck driving, and he stayed gone a lot, 10 hours, sometimes 12 hours a day. Well, my mom stayed at home. It was just different time back then.
My mom stayed home too.
Yeah. Um, Candy bar didn't cost $3,
Yeah.
you know. Gas costs 85 cents, and you can spend $200 a month at the grocery store. I spent $250 a day and I didn't get much.
Yeah.
Um,
I was just thinking of that. Um, what I make by myself, um, having been in public education for 16 years now, what I make right now is what my dad made when I was a kid, and he supported the whole family
that was good money.
on that.
Yeah. So what that leads up, and we say that because it leads up to the wife having to get a job and the husband having to get a job, and sometimes you got a side job. You go home and you got 3 jobs in the family, and the kids work, and and it gets to where on the weekend you're just worn out.
Mm-hmm.
The jobs wear you out, and running the kids, the school activities, and sports and what church activities, you're just worn out. And Friday night and Saturday, you just don't want to do anything, just
Mm-hmm.
lay around the house. But that's not good either, and that kind of gets you disconnected too. Uh, so yeah, sometimes you're just worn out from the weekly grind. So Lori, take the next topic.
And then sometimes you're just busy with other things. So today's Saturday. So today's clean the bathroom, dust the living room, do the laundry, just those normal housework, everyday things. And
Then I say, okay, let's go out tonight. Oh, you're worn out.
yeah.
Worn out.
And he does the grocery shopping, thankfully, so I don't have to do that. So while he's grocery shopping, I'm cleaning, sweeping, or whatever I need to do for that day. So just those everyday cooking and cleaning, and just the things you have to do to get through the day and wear you out.
You're just too busy.
And then individual hobbies. We don't really have this problem, but there
Some
are
people,
some
some do.
couples where the husbands are always going out with the guys
Hmm.
once or twice a week, whatever. And girls, same way. Wives do the same thing. I've seen pictures of, posts of friends on Facebook, and she going out with the girls to the club or whatever, and just that can lead to just more busyness and more disconnection.
And then that takes away time for the couple
Mhm.
together. And that kind of, as it goes on, it can build up some resentment
Yeah, I mean, really, if you
and
think
anger
about
and
it, if
frustration.
you got time and energy and money to go out with your buddies, then you should have time and energy and money to go
Yeah.
out with your wife
Your
or
marriage should come
husband.
first.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Sometimes a husband and wife, they're just caught up with other things in life, and they slowly become disconnected. And it happens. You don't want it to happen, but it happens. It may not be that you're having problems in your marriage, but you just become disconnected. You get too comfortable with the luxuries in life, the what do you call the worldly things, the material things in life.
Hmm.
Your TV shows we have. My goodness, cable TV or streaming. Now you have streaming TV, TV in every house, TV in the bathrooms, TV in the kitchen. Some people have TVs outside in their back porch,
Hmm.
and you turn on TV. There's thousands of channels you can watch, and you can watch something all day long. And you can just turn on your phone. And you can sit there for hours on your phone,
Hmm.
disconnected. And husbands and wives are just disconnected. They don't make time for each other just because of the modern advancements of life. Um, and some people are just career oriented and their works consume them. I'm not one of those. I don't work to live. I don't live to work. My life doesn't depend on me working 12 hours a day. And my life is I'm not consumed by my job. But some people they're consumed by their job. They take their job home with them and they lose sleep over their job and they go into work on the weekend and their job takes away from family time. Um, and unfortunately, sometimes husbands and wives just become discontent with each other. They have the problems, they have the struggles, they have the negative things pop up in life, and they start drifting apart. And it, it could be I don't know if it's more for the husband or more for the wife, but if there's not any involvement with one of the spouse. The other spouse could find friend of the opposite sex that they like, and the next thing you know, they're talking to them on the chat and their phone and at the office, or and now they're involved with somebody else because the other spouse is not involved. And if you're not involved, if you don't go out and enjoy each other, you become discontent. You drift apart. So we want to talk about how you can fix all that and how you can start dating again. Dating is not just for teenagers. Dating is not just for people engaged. So, Lori, get us started on how we can become better dating spouses.
Okay, husbands and wives should not allow themselves to drift apart physically, mentally, or emotionally. It is of great importance that husbands and wives continue to date even after they're married, well on into the latter years of marriage. Date nights also allow husbands and wives to reconnect from the busyness of life and give them time to enjoy each other. The stressors of life can drag you down, and it's good for husbands and wives to get away from the stressors of life and focus on each other. Even if when you're staying home, it's one thing. You're still looking at your dirty dishes, and you're still looking at the stuff that needs to be done around the house. So sometimes it's good just to get out,
Yes.
get away from that.
Yes, that stuff can wait.
We love our kids, but sometimes husbands and wives need to get babysitters and go out without them for a date night. Because again, when you have kids, you usually focus on them, especially if they're little. Your one spouse is dealing with the kids, and the other spouse is, it's just kind of there, maybe helping out with the kids or whatever. But you're still focused on them. You're not focused on each other. So as much as you love your kids, it is good to get away and get out without them. So when our boys were younger, they're they would still go to their dad's every other weekend. And so on those weekends that they were with their dad, we would plan our date nights for those weekends because we knew that they would be gone. So we do family things on the weekends we had them, and then we would do our date nights on the weekends we did.
And this is also good for you in the blended family world too. That's
Hmm.
when you have this blended family like that, you got to make the best of the time. You do.
Yep. Our boys are grown now, so we have one. He's 25 and married. He's got two beautiful little baby girls, and then we have a middle one. He's fixing to be 20. He's in college, and then our youngest one is 16. So they're all pretty much. We can just go somewhere and leave them at home and
Give them pizza and we're gone.
give them a pizza. Yeah, order pizza and we go. So we don't have to worry about that, and we don't need babysitters, and we just plan a date and go. So we still try to do that, at least once a month or so, and sometimes we even try to go do a weekend thing, a couple times a year. So that's some things we do to try to stay connected.
Yep. So we've come up with a list of our favorite dates, some of our unique dates, and some of our weekend getaways that she was talking about. We do some weekend getaways. I'm telling you, we love our weekend getaways, and we put some money. We don't go a lot of big extravagant vacations. We're trying to cut back. Seems like after the COVID years, it's just kind of it's nearly impossible to plan extravagant vacations. The last big one we went on was um, Florida. We went to Gatlinburg, but we went on an extravagant vacation to Pensacola Beach about 3 years ago, and we haven't really been on anything big since then. But we go on a lot of weekend getaways. We like our weekend getaways. Um, Before we get to the list, I'm gonna have Lori share. She tells it the best. Our first dating experience that kind of led up to us before, kind of like we're interested. We just want to talk. We just want to get to know each other, and then we're gonna start, decide if we want to start dating. But once we decided we're gonna start dating, I decided I'm gonna take her out to a nice place. We're gonna get dressed up, and wear our best clothes and go out, and I'm gonna spend some money. We went to this place in North Little Rock. It's no longer open. I don't know why it's not open. It was called Saddle Creek Wood Fire Grill. It was a nice place. It had steak and seafood, and then had a bar if you like to drink. That was really nice, and we knew, and we spent a couple hours there. We knew from that point on we're going to date regular, and it would probably lead up to marriage. But before that, we had a very unique date, and so I'm gonna let Lori talk about that. It was kind of spontaneous. So, Lori, tell us about our unique date.
Well, it was around Christmas time, and he would have it like, well, it was like the week before Christmas. He'd have to work a
working long
couple of
hours
shifts.
in
Wouldn't you
Air
have to
Force.
work like 12-hour shifts
Yeah,
or
at the
something
Air
like
Force
that?
base.
Yeah,
Hmm.
in the Air Force. And so he had the overnight shift that weekend or that night. I don't remember if it was a weekend, and I don't remember where the boys. I guess the boys were with their dad because they
Yeah, and
weren't
they
here.
boys were there.
And well, he got off at like 6 in the morning, and so we had a breakfast date at the Waffle House. So we drank coffee and ate our waffles or whatever we had, and we sat there for a couple hours
He did.
drinking coffee and talking.
And we last year we did these 30-day challenges from Ryan and Selena Frederick. They had a 30-day challenge for your wife. It's a book that has 30 days to where
Hmm.
you try to reconnect with each other and get your ideas. And one of them was recreate your first date. So we couldn't go back to Saddle Creek Wood Fire Grill because they closed. So we recreated the Waffle House date. We got up at we went there at 6 in the morning and we went to our same spot and ate breakfast and drank coffee.
Yeah,
Yeah, yep. Recreated.
we've been there a few times
Mm-hmm.
to do that since then. So that was good. That was our
That was fun.
yeah.
First real date.
That was 12/17.
Yep.
12/17. I remember that.
Um, so talk about our weekend getaways.
So we have a weekend we always take around Christmas. It's right after Thanksgiving, where we go out to a what do you call it? A bed? It's not, is it a bed and
It's
breakfast? Would
kind
you
of a
call it a
bed and
bed and
breakfast,
breakfast?
and they got
It's a place in Eureka Springs.
chalet cottages and and cabins. It's a unique place.
Yeah, it's called Evening Shade Inn,
Mm-hmm.
and we've been there several times, so we know the owners really well, and that's our favorite go-to place. And then we drive to Branson that Saturday, and we do some Christmas shopping for the kids, and but that's just our weekend getaway where we. That's kind of our tradition. It's become a tradition for us to do that every Thanksgiving. So that's one of our weekend getaways that we'd like to do is do the trip to Eureka Springs and we get some shopping there. We got our favorite little shops we like to go to. We got like a soap shop and there's
All this may not sound um, exciting, but it is. I'm telling you,
that's what we like.
that's exciting for us.
And then we like to sometimes we go to hot springs. There's been different places in hot springs that we've
Mhm.
tried to do things on the weekend, and if the weather's nice, they've got some good places where you like to hike or just walk around. There's places literally in town that's just up on the hill and you can walk around, so you're not like way out in the middle of the woods or anything. And then what else?
After we've been married, we were married shortly a year, maybe less than a year, and I had to go on one of these Air Force trips to Kuwait or somewhere or Afghanistan. Where it don't matter.
I
It
think it
was
was
one of
Afghanistan.
them
Yeah.
places I didn't want to be. And we came back and we went on a weekend, like a 3 or 4 day getaway to Gatlinburg, and we stayed in a really nice romantic cabin. That was really good.
Yeah.
That was good. And
We got a funny story.
yeah, well, okay, yeah. Let's tell that funny story. We we had a hot tub and in the back on the back porch, and we went out there. It was about 9:30 at night, and we got locked out.
Yeah.
We
We
had
had our
clothes,
band
we
sits
had
on.
babysit on, but and we couldn't get back in, and our car keys and our phones were in the cabin. So we had to go knock on the neighbors' cabins, and they thought we were drunk or something. Anyway, but
Yep.
that was a very memorable time
Memorable
for us.
story. Yep.
Yep. So it's good to go out on weekend getaways. Do that. I don't know if you do that or not, but you need to do that as a couple. Find babysitters. You know, I mean, it's good. It's good to take your kids and your family on a family trip. That's good too. But it's good for you as a husband and wife together, couple, to go on
Hmm.
getaways by yourself.
Yep.
Okay. So now, um, our normal date nights, like I said, they may not sound very exciting to you, but everybody's different, and that's the key. You may like to go to see a matinee, or you may like to go to uh, play or a
Hmm. You might like to
dinner
go
play.
fishing
You like go
or
fishing,
go camping or
or you might
whatever.
like go putt golf or
Yeah.
whatever. But here's some of the things that we like to do, and it's very very simple, but that's exciting for us. Um, the normal I say we're just going to do a normal date, she knows it's going to be a restaurant and coffee,
Mm-hmm.
restaurant and a coffee place, Starbucks or whatever place is open. Sometimes we'll go to a hamburger joint or a pizza place, and then we'll get ice cream. Sometimes we'll go to a restaurant right next to the Barnes and Nobles, and we go to the bookstore. We spend an hour in the bookstore just walking around, looking
Mm-hmm.
at the books. It's exciting to us. That's
Sometimes
what
we
we
buy
like to do.
stuff, sometimes we don't. And there's like you usually find one with a coffee shop in it.
Yep.
We get our coffee and walk around the
And the
bookstore.
one we like to go to, it's in the North Little Rock. It has a Starbucks. So exciting.
Yep.
That's our date nights. And also sometimes we'll go to dinner and we'll just go shopping. Hey, we need to get some stuff, and that's what we'll do. That's what
Mm-hmm.
we'll spend a Saturday night or something. So
I think one time we went grocery shopping and we went
we
for
did.
breakfast and then we were grocery shopping.
We did, and we went breakfast and grocery shopping. It's our dates, and it's our time to get along together. And so, husbands and wives, whatever works for you, think about something unique that you and your husband, your wife, can go out and do. Now, Lori, talk about some of our more unique dates.
Oh, so we first got married. I think even while we were dating, we would go to the town kind of down the street from us, if you will. Had a New Year's Eve singing ever gospel New Year's Eve singing. There we go.
Southern gospel.
Southern gospel, and we would go do that, and
That was fun.
that was fun. Yeah. Or we have in another town down the road. There's a retro arcade, and so it's in a little place
All the
that's
old
got a
80s
little
games.
Mexican restaurant, another Asian place, and so
Good pizza
we
place.
might pick one of those places. Yeah, pizza place, and we might go to dinner at one of those places, and then go hit up the retro arcade. We usually have the 16-year-old with us when we do that because he likes to do that. Yeah, my car is still under the warranty of, where you can go get your free oil change, whatever, from the car dealership. So we usually try to do that on a Saturday morning. So we'll go do
And
that.
it's a while. The dealership is,
Yeah,
it's about an hour drive, so we make a date of it.
yeah. We'll either get coffee or we'll do that and then go get breakfast or lunch, depending on what time it is. And then we have a nice park nearby that's got a really pretty walking trail. It's got a lot of nature, squirrels and trees and stuff. And so when the weather's nice, it's a little warmer, not too hot, not too warm, but a little warmer. We'll go out there and walk around and just kind of talk.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's, riding bikes. Sometimes we'll ride bikes together, whether it's through trails or we have a river trail in the next town, or I guess it's about 20 minutes or so away. And we'll do that. In Hot Springs, there's a botanical garden.
Yes.
Called Garvin Gardens, I think.
Yep. University of Arkansas puts it on.
Yeah, it's really cool, especially in the spring when all those
We've
flowers
been on
are
some dates
blooming.
there.
Yep.
Some dates.
Yep. And so our next date where he wants to take me on is to go down to Falk, Arkansas,
She
for the
believes.
Bigfoot Museum.
She believes. She
And
believes. She's a believer.
Bigfoot Museum.
Yep. So you ever heard of the movie, The Legend of the
Legend of Boggy Creek.
Boggy Creek?
Mm-hmm.
It's an old movie from
Like
the 70s.
or something like that.
Yeah. It was filmed in a place called Folk, Arkansas, and we've been wanting to go down there and go to some hole in the wall restaurant and go to that store and buy a bunch of Bigfoot stuff.
Yeah. One of the shows I like to watch on TV about weird stuff just did a show down there, so they'll still seeing Bigfoot down there. So
yeah, so that's our unique dates, and so you may have a unique. You may want to go to a art gallery, or go to the zoo, or an aquarium, or maybe go to the flea market. Whatever it is you like. Go. You might want to go to the flea market or roller skating. Go out. Husbands and wives, get out of the house. Put your phones down. Turn off the TV. Go out and do something. Enjoy each other. Husbands, enjoy the wife of your youth. Okay, so we're about to wrap it up here. About a year ago, before we went to this marriage conference, we had gotten to where we just didn't go on a lot of dates, and we kind of drifted apart. Nothing bad. We're just busy. We're busy, and we had some issues with our youngest boy. And we were kind of worn out, tired, and the marriage conference really rejuvenated us. And it's kind of like we went on our second honeymoon. Uh, uh, but now we realize that we need to keep dating and keep doing the things that we like to do, keep enjoying each other. You can't do it every night. Just be honest, and you may have the same problem. It's just not financially sound to go out 2 or 3 nights a week,
Yeah.
and maybe once a month is all you might be able to afford financially. Or just you know what, you don't even have to spend the dime. Go out to the park
Hmm.
and pack some sandwiches or whatever. Get creative. But we realize that stay at home every weekend just doesn't work. We need to get out and enjoy each other. And in his book, The Husband in Pursuit, Ryan Frederick, he lists 50 creative date ideas. So if you don't follow the Fierce Marriage, the Fierce Family podcast and shows on YouTube, I recommend that. They got a bunch of books. One's called Fierce Marriage. They are the Fierce Marriage people, Ryan and Selena Frederick. And they also have the Wife in Pursuit and The Husband in Pursuit, two separate books. And I recommend that. I really do. It'll help rejuvenate your passion for each other. And he gives a bunch of good creative date ideas. I just listed a few uh, in closing. Go stargazing. Go out on a nice clear night. Go somewhere where it's clear,
Hmm.
no trees or something, and just sit on your car, and just look at the stars.
Hmm.
And she's got a big fancy stargazing app.
Yeah.
You can figure out all the constellations. Do that like at midnight or something. Go to just look at the map and say, we're going to drive here. We're going to check this out. We're going to go to this state park in town and down the street or whatever, and we're just going to check it out. Go to a place you've never been to before, or the zoo or the aquarium, or go to a comedy show or play. We went to this. Well, we took our boy too. We went to this place in Branson. If you've never been to Branson, they have a lot of different shows. We went to a show called the Hay Goods. They were great,
Hmm.
and it was a good time. Um,
And wasn't that where we saw that magic show too? A
yeah,
few years ago, we
yep,
saw a
yep.
magic show.
Magic show. They have a lot of good shows. Just like I said, go to a picnic in a park. You can pack a sandwich or and you don't have to spend a lot of money. Or if you're into working out, you know, go to the gym together or go work out together, take a class together, do something together, ride bicycles through the city. Um, or have a night where you put down the phones, turn off the TV, and you just sit and enjoy each other. We have a back porch that I need to clean. We need to clean and get
She said,
renovated a little bit. So she said it's a screen in back porch, and
hmm,
sometimes on a good night we'll just go out there and just sit and enjoy each
got
other.
a swing out there.
Yep. But and that is the dating for us has been a really good thing for us, and it can be a great thing for you too. So that's one of the good things in marriage is dating. And we've been married going 13 and a half years. And I think one of the things that ruins it for a lot of people in the modern times is they have so long of an engagement period and dating before marriage that you do it all. You've done all the dates, you've done all the things, you did all the um, creative dates, and when you're married, and there's really nothing else. So um, I don't like the whole long dating period, especially with teenagers. And we're going to talk about that. I'm gonna have an episode, not like next week, but in the future. I'm gonna plan it out and research it. But I'm kind of against the whole prolonged dating for teenagers and dating and we're gonna date for 10 years and then we get
Mm.
married. No, get married. If it's God's will you get married and enjoy each other and date each other. Don't stop dating. Don't lose your passion. You got anything to add?
I was
Wrap
just
it up.
going to say, I think a lot of kind of what you were saying with the long engagement, that you date and you do bend over backwards for each other and you do things, and then you get married, and then you're like, okay, well, we're married now. I don't have to do that
Mm-hmm.
anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I got them, so I don't have to pursue them anymore.
Yep. Yep.
You
Yep.
know, and I don't. We didn't intentionally think that, but just I think we just got married and went back to work and just did life and just kind of you know didn't make it intentional. And now
Well,
we try to make it intentional, I think.
yeah.
Plus, you were
Uh,
gone a lot
yeah.
here,
That's what I was going to say.
trips.
God, God kind of put us through a test because when I and asked her to marry me, I got sent off for a 6.5 month trip to Kuwait. So we didn't have a lot of time to date in our engagement. So
We were planning over that.
yeah,
Okay, where are we gonna do
our
this? And
dates came after we were married. So, anyways, I hope you watch this episode, and if you haven't watched our episodes in the past, look us up on our YouTube channel and like and subscribe, and we'll be working on one. I'm not going to give away, but working on a good one next week. So, thank you, and God bless.